Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to Unification once again. When we last left off, we got our ass kicked as the Emperor's children. This time, however, I'm going to bring you a replay commentary because I've already played this game with the Renegade Guard and I won, so yes, I can at least get one victory. I also have 1,000 Suns one that I won, but only through some sheer Zinchian backstabbery. But hey, we'll get to that next time. So, let's go. Playback. Apparently we're starting with Chaos, because why not? No, we want to see the Renegade Guard. Now, the Renegade Guard. They are basically the Imperial Guard, except they're Renegades. They're Chaos. They have a lot of Chaos contrivances. Depending on what kind of an army you go for, you can choose either Horde or you can choose Mutant. I have, in this game, chosen the Horde, which allows me to get basically Chaos equivalent of Imperial units. For example, these militiamen here, they're... where's the... there we go. See, militiamen here. You got the Chaos symbol on them. Yeah, sorry, my voice still hasn't fully recovered, so I'm talking as quietly as possible. But yes, they are basically standard Imperial Guardsmen, except instead of las guns, they have got I can't remember what they call them in Warhammer 40k, but they're basically just like machine guns, like modern day machine guns. I can't remember the name of them, but hey ho, what can you do? So we also have, I should probably turn the Fog of War off. As you saw, we also have Chaos over here, serving as my most direct enemy, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. You also got the Dance Macabre up here. We'll get to them eventually. I don't know how to play them, but we'll get to them anyway. And we've got the standard Sisters of Battle here. And already, we got some very loud sound effects, that's for sure. And, yes, of course, right off the bat, we have an engagement. Now, the Master of the Horde, he projects an aura, so sort of assists with morale and stuff like that, from what I remember. Yes, morale recovery. This particular variation is a ranged combatant, despite the fact he uses the general model. Although he is very, I don't know, his model is not great. On the main home screen, his model is completely grey, but hey ho. Excuse me, am I getting frame skipping? I think I am. Oh well. Yes, unfortunately, Chaos did decide to kind of attack me, or rather, they decided to get in my way, so I, of course, have decided that I'm having none of that, and am punishing them for it. Also, if I can get rid of Chaos quickly, then, yeah, that will serve me in good stead in terms of resource generation for later on, whereas the Sisters of Battle and the Harlequins over here, the Dance Macabre, who look like they belong with the Emperor's children, but hey ho. Got any engagements up here yet? We have not, actually. Certainly doesn't look it anyway. Over here, yeah, we're just kicking the arse of Chaos. I did set my Master of the Horde to melee, just so they wouldn't go after the militiamen, so he could sort of tie them up, because he can tank it. He's got 1,600 health. This is not on softcore. This is on standard thing. And of course I am choosing the standard Imperial Guard tactics of overwhelming bodies. And thank you to the person who left tips on the last video of just sort of improving my gameplay slightly. It is unfortunate that I lost the Emperor's children. I'm sure I'll go back to them. After all, I've not chosen Muriel, which is definitely also going to be an 18 rated video because they're even more lewd than the than Lucius's Emperor's children. So yeah. Yes, this is going relatively well. You wouldn't see this happening in Ultimate Apocalypse. Like, if I had a load of Imperial Guardsmen shooting at a desecrated stronghold, they would barely scratch it. Chaos has come back over here with his cultist squad, and he's trying to take that point, but it doesn't really matter, because I'm going to destroy his desecrated stronghold, then all his stuff will vanish. Meanwhile, yes, the Harlequin troop there is getting flamed by the Caldaris. It's, I'm not quite sure why you bothered using that ability, because they don't focus on ranged combat, but yes, sadly, they are going to get overwhelmed. And in fact, it looks like they might very well be killed because they've wandered into a turret. Apparently, Harlequins do not like fire. What a shame for them. Meanwhile, pew pew, desecrated stronghold, going down. Good, good. The Harlequins have not responded to that little squad loss. That matters not. I'm sure they will retaliate eventually. Oh, there appears to be a fully upgraded Chaos Space Marine squad going in to fight. Well, I use the term fight. It wasn't really a fight, was it? It was more of, let's just stand there and get peppered by what looked like some sort of auto guns. And I think that's what, is that what they're called? Auto guns? But yeah, that didn't go well for them. Now, over here, looks like the Harlequins have already had enough of the Sisters of Battle and are moving in to attack a listening post. I, meanwhile, haven't even gone up to tier 2 yet because I'm too busy watching the desecrated stronghold, most likely. Oh, no, I did just see they did actually upgrade to tier 1. It's probably taken me, what, 7 minutes? Yep, 7 minutes. I'm still a bit slow, in general, but also in this. And down go Chaos. Chaos didn't even get a chance. The Sisters of Battle and the Harlequins have actually engaged each other in a, well, I say a proper fight. Proper fight would be a little bit of a... No, they're actually properly fighting. That's something. And yes, the Harlequins can leap. They can do the whole Tyrannid thing. Leaping into combat and stabberizing everything. Well, I say the Tyrannid thing. I mean, Assault Marines and Raptors can do it as well. I think. Oh.
It was a good tribute.
What are they called? Store Boys can do it as well. But you know, I'm just going around capturing strategic points. That's not really important. What is important is cooked mimes. Or not cooked mimes, because the Sisters of Battle have got a bit they've got a bit wrecked. That didn't go well for them at all. And the gun that produces this effects, they're really good, I've noticed. You can get them on the mimes, and yeah, they're pretty damn good. I can't remember what they're called. Is it Neuro Disruptors? Yeah, reduces enemy accuracy and movement speed. Really good.
Sacrifice these women and give their souls to Slanesh.
How nice of you. For those who did not hear that, we've just detected the Sisters of Battle, I think. So, the Guardsman said, we shall sacrifice these women and send their souls to Slanesh. Yes. It's, seems like none of the Chaos races can get away with making those sorts of rather dark connotative references. But hey ho. I do actually have a Renegade Mechanicus, but I don't appear to have built anything with it yet. Meanwhile, the Harlequins seem to be doing quite well for themselves. They're pretty much wiping out the systems of battle. I'm not sure what they're targeting there. Oh, it was a Canonus, who seems to have bugged out slightly. I'm not sure what this symbol is above their head. Like I said, I don't really know how to play them. That's all. And the mimes seem to have gone invisible. I'm guessing those are the mimes. No, these mimes haven't. I'm not sure. Harlequin's Kiss. Not really sure if it's wise to get a Harlequin's Kiss and a Neurodisruptor, because, let's face it, one's ranged, one's melee. You should either get 2 Neurodisruptors, 2 Harlequin's Kiss. What are these? Death Jesters. By the looks of it, these seem to be the Dark Reaper replacement. And they have some hearts going around them. Well, that went well. Is that them making that noise? God, that is ugly. There seems to be a slight issue with the texture there. I'm not sure if that's an issue with the texture or if that's actually intentional. That might be intentional, because I mean, they are they're like a sort of drama troupe, so it could just be a mask. In fact, I dare say it actually is a mask. Yeah, I don't know. Missionary is actually getting into combat. They've only got 33 to 58, 56 damage, so getting him into melee is probably the best bet. Immolator attempting to take out a Harlequin troop or two. It's gone. Well, it's gone poorly. That's no surprise there. I, meanwhile, have managed to do pretty much nothing. I mean, I've been upgrading stuff, and I've gone with the Arch Heretic, which boosts the morale of all my militiamen and provides various other benefits. When I do the mutant video, I hope to do that live, so I'll be able to show you off more of these things. But hey ho. The Sisters of Battle have actually got out a lightning fighter. I mean, that's not really what I choose in this situation, but it does seem to be doing some damage. Luckily, it does mean that the Harlequin troops can't actually target them properly, because obviously it's in the air. So, have we got any vehicles yet? Of course not. Why would I do that? That'd be silly. Oh. I'm training, or I'm researching Spread of Chaos. That's basically my equivalent of that thing that's down there when you play the Imperial Guard and you need it to get Demon Russes. I can't remember what it's called. Was it Heavy Armor Deployment? No, that's Space Marines. What was it called? I don't know. Also got me some Heavy Weapons Militia, which are actually really useful. I tend to just equip them all with las cannons and autocannons, respectively. I think the Arch Heretic can increase the amount of weapons the thing has as well. So selecting him causes a global increase in militia morale. It doesn't actually specify. Though he does have a plasma pistol, so, you know, he's probably going to be somewhat useful.
We are the courtesans of
I do like the I like the models. These some of the little symbols on them. It's very nice. A lot of auto guns and melters, because I've gone very heavy on the melters. Let's move over here slightly so we can see what's going on here. There's still a squad of 3 Death Jesters in the Sisters of Battle base that seems to be murdering anything that comes out of the Sororitas Convent. They also appear to be out of range of the listening post. So, yeah. Armored Shuriken Cannons, the ultimate masters of heavy weapons. So I'm guessing they're a thing you can only get one of. Can upgrade to Bright Lances. Ooh. Interesting. Dear. But yes, the Scissors of Battle are pretty much dealt with. It's the end of the road for them. Okay, we got some auto cannons. Very nice. With the bags over their heads. No one will ever know who they are with those bags. Although let's face it, they all look like clones, a lot of them. Because that's how models work in RTS games. In fact, that's how models work in games in general. You can't make a unique model for every single NPC or whatever. You'll be there forever, especially if you're low budget. That would just be way too expensive. I mean, I suppose you could. Depends on how big your game is. But there's the Chaos Sentinel. I like Chaos Sentinels. Chaos Sentinels are good. And unfortunately, I've decided to move them just as I was trying to go in for a closer look. I'm not very good with the camera, can you tell? Oh. There we go. That's a bit smoother. Well, I say it's a bit smoother. Unfortunately, these things can't detect. Despite the fact they're sentinels. And that's kind of their job. At least in UA, anyway. I could have used the ability from here, but I forgot about it. Don't know why anyone's surprised. Luckily, the Arch Heretic seems to have a aura of keen sight, so... And down go the Sisters of Battle. Though apparently the buildings are still there, the game hasn't quite registered that I have Fog of War off. So, yeah, the building's still there according to them. Now... Harlequins use little in the way of vehicles or heavy weapons. When they do, they have to be loud, fast, and brightly coloured. So they would definitely fit in with the Emperor's Children, then. Because, you know, that's a very Slaneshi thing, isn't it? Another troop portal, which seems to be their barracks, which is basically just 3 aspect portals in a triangle shape. Fair enough. Temple of the Laughing God, eh? I remember the Laughing God giving me quite some trouble in this thing. Yeah. Very majestic.
I am here to do battle with the enemies of the
We've got over here. These are all basically Harlequins, aren't they? Psychedelic hollow fields disrupt the accuracy of even the most accurate foes, making them strike at false images. So that's what that sort of weird floating light effect is. Flip belts allow movement over most terrain with deft speed and agility. Yes, they're very painful, I'm sure. And of course, that's basically the builder unit.
None may deny it now.
And I finally got myself a relic. It's only taken me about, what? 18 minutes. There we go. Luckily, with Spread of Chaos researched and a relic, I can now give myself a Chaos Baneblade. Oh, and also, I've got a Demon Russ here. It's that's a very nice looking Lehman Russ, that is. I approve. I approve of it. And the spikes. The spikes really do make the Lehman Russ. And it's sort of like grey-black, so yeah, I like that as well. Also, Ogrim Berserkers. They have spiky things attached in the place of their hands. So, yeah. That's including chainswords, which I imagine... Oh, actually, are they chainswords? They look like they're supposed to be chainswords, but they're not animated. But I imagine in the lore they would be, so I don't know how they manage that, but hey-ho. Ooh, there's a chorus there. What are they doing? They pulling some sneaky Eldar shenanigans. Probably. And I'm not sure where they're going. Oh, no, Death Jesters are not unique.
Heavy tank serves chaos now.
I just heard super heavy tank serves chaos now. Ah!
How refreshing. No more radio silence.
Baneblade. With a guy's torso hanging off it, because chaos. I mean, I'm not quite sure why you would have a guy's torso hanging off your tank, but no matter. Clearly I'm just not in with the Raiders style. And yes, I mean Raiders from like Fallout series, because they do that. So Wraithwalker. I've never actually zoomed in on a Wraithwalker. They use this model in Ultimate Apocalypse. In fact, they use a lot of models from these things. These like little mods. But with permission, obviously. They don't just nick them. I think the I know it was one of the, well, the Emperor's Children. I'm not sure whether which one used it first. Used the Keeper of Secrets model first. Thousand Sons, well, the Keeper of... not the Keeper of Secrets, that's an edgy thing. The, what's he called? Lord of Change model, that's been in there for quite some time. I think Thousand Sons was one of the first ones to come out, so... if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. Fear the march of chaos! Watch them come! Watch them get path blocked by their own soldiers, because the pathing in this game is somewhat suspect. And suddenly, that ability. I don't know what that does, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's like the piece. No, it's definitely not like the piece thing from UA. Now, their army is here, so that is mildly problematic. However...
Yes, sweetie.
Okay, I've got a Blood Cold Assassin just hacking away at some Harlequin trooper. Or Shadow Dancers, that's they're actually called. And that's why they're called Shadow Dancers, because they've just gone invisible. Ooh, I like those swords. I want those swords. Pop. Mockingbird. Super heavy weapon platform. So that's going to be the equivalent of a fire prism then. Luckily, I've got a Baneblade. I don't care. Your argument is irrelevant. I've got a Chaos Baneblade. Ooh, the Blood Cold Assassin got absolutely murdered. In fact, her morale is gone, and so is her health. I'm not quite sure what that thing is, but... Bard, I ask. Song of Cain, Steals Courage, Harlequins, Song of Chigarath, heals the pain of wounded. I see. It means nothing to me. Well, it means... I know what it means, but... Ah, they have a shadow set. I was not aware of that. Yeah, the morale of the militiamen is poor, to say the least. But the general does have an ability which can help with that, so it's not too bad. Luckily, I've got all melt guns, so these vehicles are just basically wasting their time. Plus, I've got las cannons. Only 2 las cannons, because the rest of the squad seems to have died. But, such is the life in Service to Chaos. They were worthy sacrifices to Chaos. Normally, I think Ogre and Berserkers are Horn focused, as far as I'm aware. Now, I did set my militiamen to be constantly recruited here every time I lose one. Don't expect me to remember that for at least another 5 minutes. Yeah, I just fight with this and I completely forget about this lot.
Your orders, master.
It's annoying you can't see like abilities and stuff and train and what can be trained in this little thing here. Oh well. Ooh dear. God, I'm so tired. I'm tired and my throat is starting to hurt. I'm not sure what that is, but it's making people invisible, and that's annoying. Oh, Sentinel might go down. Is it going to go down? It might. Mockingbird. 2? Yep, apparently they can get 2 Mockingbirds, much like I can get 2 Lehman Russes. I mean, it's a super heavy weapon platform, but honestly, it's basically just a tank. Mastermind. Is it a mastermind? Yeah, that went well. That went really well. They've just lost both of their super heavy tanks because they decided to merge them. Oh look, a Spirit Walker, which is actually the Laughing God, technically. Well, it's the Laughing God model. Or is the Laughing God the Spirit Walker model? Who knows? I don't know which came first. These things are bloody pain. Yeah. It's not affected by terrain covers at all. Effective against all who oppose it. Unless they've got, like, Melter Guns, a Baneblade, and 2 Lehman Russes, in which case it's going to fall over and go kaboom. Although, it did do a lot of damage to my force. Meanwhile, this lot, still slacking at home. Yep. I'm a good commander. I also haven't noticed that these people have lost squad members. Not given them any more hardware or heavy weapons. Those need to be reinforced, and there's less cannons there. Yep, I've also charged directly into a heavily defended base with some Ogre Berserkers and my secondary commander. This is not going to be effective. Hey ho, what can you do? Why would I do something competent? That's not like me. We're now up to 4 squads sitting around the bastion, just waiting to do well. Let's face it, anything. And Mockingbirds going down. That's going down. Everything's going down. It's just so are my troops. Luckily, down goes their vehicle factory. Or one of them, anyway. Is that a... I thought I saw a pentagram beneath his feet, but no, it's not a pentagram. Oh, I noticed. My god, I've actually done something vaguely competent. Now, one thing I've noticed with the militiamen, right? So, depending on where you train it from, i.e. whether you train it from a heretical barracks or the bastion, it will depend on which ones get... like selected when you double click. When you double click the select mode. So you can see that all of these are selected. Pretty much, except for this squad here. When I double click on this squad, it does not select them because they were trained from a different area. Presumably the heretical barracks. Hey ho, what can you do? What is going on over here? Some death jesters, but they seem to be otherwise useless at this moment in time. Oh, they've got their Spirit Walker back. That's somewhat dangerous, but yeah, it's It's cutting through my squads quite significantly.
Fools! Chaos has no place for the weak.
My pop is still full, apparently. Problem is, I've not done my squad cap very well, so I'm at 19 of 20, and I can't get anything else because obviously there's nothing that costs 1. There we go. Now they've been trained, so I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squads sitting around the bastion. At least the laughing god thing went down. I can't remember what it's called. No. The Great Harlequin loses the web range strike from any location. Unless it blows up, in which case, well, tough luck. You say the false emperor betrayed us, but from their point of view, you betrayed the Imperium, so... You've gone from one cult to another cult. Yes, this match is basically over at this point. But can I end it in time to save my Lehman Russ tank from getting fusion gunned to death? Yes, because I just drew them into my line of sight. And down goes the Pavilion of Tears, and that is it. A 30-minute match. It's not bad. And that fits more in with my general timescales. I did actually, as you can see at the end, notice and start sending my militiamen across, but it was too late by that point. We'll just have to send them home. And by send them home, I mean, of course, just like throw them on an altar and display their body parts everywhere, because that's how chaos rolls. But that has been the Renegade Guard. Now, obviously, I haven't shown off. I've shown off things, but I've not shown how they play as such. In terms of, I've not played them on camera, so you've not been able to see all the different things. Obviously, I will be playing them again. I may play them on stream. I may play them on just in another video. We'll see. But that is it for today. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed it. Next time it should be the Thousand Suns, potentially. Although I will warn you, the replay is a little bit slow in places. Mainly when I'm rebuilding my army for the 50th time, because it's all been trashed by the Adeptus Mechanicus. But until then, I have been Caldaris. Goodbye.